running around in some toga that is not workplace appropriate length.
Okay.
And then she tumbles down like some like slag heap or a hill or something like that. And I remember thinking, ooh. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Wednesday Night Gentlemen Multimedia Empire official podcast. You're gonna be listening to episode number 31 and the first episode of our second year doing this, I think.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I guess it is. Yeah.
Hey, shut up over there.
No, I'm
still in the intro.
No. We screwed up the first episode of the first year, so I'm going to screw up the first episode of the second year as well.
Okay, well, that's Midget Radio over there. I'm your host, Tactic Angel. He's a murderous psychopath. We like to talk about comic books, movies, TV shows, video games, and very rarely political discourse. Today we're going to be talking about a comic book TV show, just like last time, and we're going to have plenty of opportunities to do this in the future. It looks like Gifted,
oh yeah,
Inhumans, all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, they're only adding. Like, I don't think they've taken away any comic book TV. Like, nothing's been canceled, I feel like.
Carter.
I guess, does that count? Yeah, I guess that counts. I had like that short,
I would probably count it.
Abbreviated season.
Birds of Prey didn't make it.
Well, it wasn't part of this this new wave, so maybe it'll make a comeback.
Yeah, I have no idea who's watching all of this crap.
I don't know either.
Today, that stuff that we're going to be talking about is The Tick, the 2017 iteration starring Peter Serafinowicz.
Nailed it.
And Serafinowicz. Serafinowicz.
Yeah.
And Griffin Newman. This is a thing that you can watch if you have Amazon Prime. So we're gonna jump right into that. Midget Radio, we have received some complaints.
Oh.
That all we ever say are bad things about TV shows.
Yeah, wow. Yeah. That's probably true.
Do you think that's going to change today?
So, I don't know. This may be a little surprising, but overall, I liked this. I liked The Tick. The first 6 episodes of season 1. I am on board.
Now, do you know if they're planning on adding more episodes to season 1?
I don't know, or if this is just an abbreviated season and the next batch will constitute season 2. I have no idea.
Because it seems like an awfully short run, considering each episode is very nearly 30 minutes long.
Yeah. I was pretty surprised when I got to episode 6 and discovered there was nothing after that.
Yeah. I've always been a little bit surprised that these companies like Netflix, like Amazon, don't release things periodically. Because the whole, I'm going to drop all of Daredevil in one day.
Yeah.
It seems to me that you'd want to milk people for their subscription, and maybe you release, one a week, or hell, one every other week. And you just keep that going and watch, 14 episodes of Daredevil. It takes half a year. You watch 14 episodes of Jessica Jones. It takes the other half of the year. Yeah. You're good.
Yeah.
You're good.
And not a model I would mind. I in some ways would kind of prefer that, but yeah, I think it's just Amazon and Netflix that do that. Hulu's been doing original programming, but they stick with every week sort of release schedule, and I assume CBS All Access, when it becomes the titan of internet streaming TV that it will undoubtedly become, will stick with that weekly model as well.
I think they're planning on doing that, certainly for the new Star Trek.
Yeah.
Just to make sure people keep their subscription at the very least. Which, I mean, I don't mind it, other than that they're holding that franchise hostage, and the service is it's disappointing. I was very disappointed. There was a lot of buffering in my trial.
That's sad.
My trial lasted 2 days because I was like, there is no way. I need to make sure I don't forget to undo this.
Yeah, that would be enormously frustrating. That, and they don't really have any other shows, especially now that they kicked Supergirl over to the CW, man. And that's not a good show anyway, but still, like, it's one that I would watch.
So you liked The Tick?
I did. Yeah, I did. I really did. I really did. I don't think that I have any real complaints, actually.
You found Peter Services to be... See, here's the thing. I was trying to get into this, and I know that I am biased. Patrick Warburton is like, he is so good at almost everything that you see him in, just because he's just so fun.
Yeah.
He's the lovable idiot. And that really works well for The Tick. I liked his performance better than Peter Serafinowicz.
I would agree with that.
I actually think that Griffin Newman, who plays Arthur, has almost no screen presence whatsoever. And then they don't have kind of the backup cast of misfits that usually you would have, like Deflator Mouse in the animated 1994 version, or Captain Liberty and Batman Well.
Yeah.
I loved Batman Well.
Batman Well.
I know some people think that he was kind of like a knockoff of Deflator Mouse, but whatever.
Yeah.
I don't care. I think it's funny, Batman Well, because it's, Batman.
Yeah.
Whatever.
But like,
well,
sort of Spanish, I guess. Like,
yeah, I think he was supposed to be kind of a Latin guy.
Yeah, Latin Batman.
And he was great. He was great.
Yeah.
He had a lot of character. He was played by Nestor Carbonell, who did just a fantastic job.
Yeah.
And so, like, after Daredevil, that might honestly be the 9-episode 2001 run of The Tick, one of my favorite, comic book superhero type TV shows.
Yeah.
Just because they're 9 episodes, they are all golden. They're all fun from start to finish. And and I actually really enjoy the episodic character of this. Do you feel like, because this new version, let's try to talk about this in a non-spoilery way, and then we can talk about spoilers if you want. But this new series does take the sort of long form show running stuff that we see in everything except for like Wheel of Fortune nowadays.
Yeah.
Do you think that it works in this?
I do. Yeah. Yeah. So I feel like overall, I think the thing that attracts me to this show is that I feel like it has managed to, for me anyway, strike a balance between what is a clearly apparent absurd world and a kind of cartoonish approach to its characters. It's found a balance between that and some kind of I don't know, some sort of like actual legit like human being type content. Like it's clearly not a show that's designed that's angling just for laughs all of the time. I actually care about the characters in this to a certain degree, particularly Miss Lint. I actually think she's probably, for me, she's the standout character in this series. And I think the reason that the serialized approach works for me versus the more like episodic one and done approach is that it's using that approach not just to tell this overarching story about whether or not the big bad, is in fact dead or alive, but it's using that to like develop these characters a little bit and give them some background to invest in. And I actually like really enjoy it. Like Miss Lint, I mean, in episode 1, she's just one-eyed evil lady. But by episode 6, I'm kind of in love with her a little bit. Like she has this sort of tragic background that's, I think, incredibly sympathetic, and it's because of how she's developed over the course of those 6 episodes. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. It feels like something that I haven't seen before, which is a weird balance between a ridiculous cartoon and then and like a drama, like a show I actually like am invested in the characters. It's weird. I don't know.
It's too bad we don't have more opinions about this, because I can understand what you're saying about Miss Lint, but it would be, as I'm listening to you, kind of a stretch to consider like almost anyone else in that as really an interesting character. They do try with Arthur, but I just don't.
He'd be the runner-up for sure. And maybe it's just that I'm so I don't know, like that she was such a surprise to me, because you're gonna watch, I expect to see the Tick, and I expect the Tick to be kind of the standout figure, and I'd say he's one of the least interesting aspects of the show. Maybe it's just that I was so taken aback by what a strong character she was, and how much time was given to her. She's just she's fantastic. I like Arthur well enough, and I'd say, I mean, he'd be the runner up to her character, and past that, I mean, there's not a lot of other strong characters. I think I don't know, it's still developed well enough. Like Arthur's family is interesting enough to me. I like his stepfather. I like that he asks about feet. There's a lot of like casual absurdity that I think really works well in the show, but everything feels just human enough to not feel like a complete cartoon.
I guess Arthur's stepfather is a weird guy, and like, so part of my issue with this is like I don't know what the tone of this is supposed to be, because on the one hand, you have people constantly trying to maim, rob, kill each other. And they're doing it in a very serious sort of way. Yeah. And then on the other side, it's like, I bought this cheese at the market. This cheese is very expensive, but it's very good. And then Tick eats it. Yeah. This is very good cheese. And just like, this scene is what? Yeah.
I can't disagree with that, but I think that's part of what I like about this show. It doesn't fit in a weird box really very well. And I don't really know exactly how you're supposed to react to it, or what exactly the writers are intending every time. And And I don't know, to me, that's kind of that's what makes the show kind of interesting. But I mean, more than that, to me, it always comes down to like whether the characters are in any way compelling or not. And Miss Lint's awesome. I can't say it enough. I love that character. And I I don't know if I probably wouldn't enjoy the show as much if she weren't in it. But the tonal issues, the kind of tonal confusion, for me, it doesn't strike me as a weakness. It's just weird.
It's so like, if you have a mixture of like cartoon, action, and just the Tick is still mostly absurd. I don't think he's either not as well written or he's significantly less charismatic by himself. And I think certainly the latter, but maybe the latter plus the former.
Yeah.
And it's just like it just doesn't always, he can't sell it as well.
I agree.
And then I have a tough time like going from, this guy who's kind of fumbling through serious buffoonery Tick to, I don't know how to explain it, to I should care about Arthur's mental health.
Yeah.
Or I mean, even with Miss Lint, she's got the thing going on with her ex, which I think is actually probably one of the funniest parts of the show.
Love that. I love that part of her. She's sharing her fucking lair, I guess. And the subtlety too, like just some of the subtle humor when they open the refrigerator door and one side of it is completely empty except for a knife and the other side is full of like health food and shit. Like, this is brilliant. Like, it's just perfect.
So that's good, but it's just really hard to jump from that to taking something that happens just a moment or two later seriously. I do want to say I enjoy Overkill.
Yes. I know
Overkill
that you would and the fucking
enjoy
Danger
Overkill
Boat.
because he murders everyone.
Well, he does. Yes. He's a good decision maker.
Well, he's certainly decisive. But there's part of me that thinks he's kind of an interesting character.
Yeah.
I feel like even as little screen time as he gets by comparison, that in the scenes where he is in with the Tick and Arthur, he is stealing the show.
I could see that. I don't know if I would say stealing, but he's definitely adding to absolutely those scenes. He's definitely a compelling presence.
Yeah. Did you say you liked Superior as well?
Oh no, he's all right. I like Overkill's fucking Danger Boat also.
Yeah.
Like I like the sort of the subtle, the casual, stupid shit in it. That's just in like, I like that his. I don't. Well, this is kind of a spoiler. Maybe I will save that for later.
Okay.
I like Superior or whatever, but he's not. But I mean, he's basically. I mean, he's kind of exactly what you would expect. Just kind of a ridiculous
doing
Superman.
his own thing.
Yeah. So whatever.
Did you find it a little bit off-putting that Danger Boat is voiced by Andy Tudyk?
Alan, I did not notice that until after the show. I didn't notice it at all. Well,
it's just like we just got done with with Rogue One,
Yeah.
he plays a robot.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's the same voice, isn't it? It's the same voice.
He's going to be all the comedy robots, I think, from this point forward. I think that's in his contract with Hollywood.
Alan Tudyk?
Yeah. Wash, man. From, Firefly, Tactic Angel.
I don't. So let's go ahead. You can give your 10-star rating.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it more than I thought I was going to. I'm at 3.5 on this show.
3.5.
Yeah.
Fantastic. This is kind of tricky because like I didn't really hate it, but I didn't like if the shows were longer than like 25 minutes, I'd have probably struggled a lot with this show.
Yes.
I'm probably just gonna say 2.
Wow. Okay, I was gonna guess 2.5. Usually those.
See, the thing is,
those are 2.5 ratings for Tactic Angel. I didn't really like it, but I didn't hate it.
I'm not gonna give it 2.25 because we're not doing that shit.
That's good.
But like it's real close to that, and like at the same time, it's I know that they're making more episodes of this because I can already see that like Peter Saran Wrap has
Smith. Peter Smith is
Peter Smith is credited for 10 episodes already. So there's probably at least 10 episodes somewhere. And like I just don't care. I mean I'm going to end up watching them because that's what we do. But, there's part of me that's like it would be a reprieve not to have to do it. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to compare it to Iron Fist because it's a lot better than that. But it's still the same. I would just prefer that they don't do an Iron Fist season 2.
Yeah.
I would prefer that they just, you know what? This doesn't quite work. Maybe we can circle around. I like the sitcom style of The Tick better. I think that they had better themes of failure and strangely failure and righteousness.
Yeah.
And this one, it's just kind of like confusion and denial and weirdness. Yeah. And also sadness.
There is definitely sadness. There's sadness. So I want to just to kind of focus a little bit on our reactions to this show, because in like what you're saying, I'm hearing a little bit of what our problems were with the Guardians of the Galaxy movie, in particular, Volume 2, with some of the tonal clashes. And so I think, at least for me anyway, I kind of understand what you're saying. I think the reason that it is not as fucking jarring to me in The Tick as it is in Guardians of the Galaxy is that The Tick, in scenes where they kind of move a little bit into kind of a sadder, more serious subject matter, they don't lean into it with everything they've got. Like, there are no long-winded, emotionally powerful fucking monologues that are then abruptly cut up by, some stupid joke or something like that. Like, I think this show kind of plays it down the line. I agree.
The tonal shifts aren't as severe, and they're not on the 1, 2, 3 release. Sort of something stupid happens after anyone cares about the plot.
Yeah. That's what I mean. I don't know. I think it's struck a balance that I haven't seen before not really in a show, and that's kind of what's compelling about it to me with respect to its tone. I mean, it seems in a sense it's almost consistent, and maybe that's what I'm responding to, whereas something like, you know, Guardians of the Galaxy, it's just violently back and forth with no apparent sense of itself. I feel like it's Guardians of the Galaxy, both of those fucking movies feel like they were written by somebody with ADD. And this does not, the tick does not strike me. It seems very intentional. And I don't know, I kind of dig it. I kind of dig it overall, I have to say.
See, the thing is, like, I get what you're saying. I think that Guardians of the Galaxy is written with a certain intentionality to, particularly through the first 3/4 of the movie, where it's always count to 3,
yeah,
and then they mess up every scene. Yeah. Count to 3, boom, yeah, perfect timing every time. Just yeah, it's so infuriating when you can be like, I know exactly what's going to happen, and I know exactly when it's going to happen. You know, details might be a little off, but I know that they're going to release the attention of the scene. This they don't, because I feel like this is a little bit more fumbling in terms of its approach to going through. And when I say that, I don't mean that they're casual or lazy. I just don't think that the quality of the material is profound enough in any direction, because it's not profoundly funny, it's not profoundly sad, it's not, it's just like it vacillates just a little bit from an emotional center, but it's going in several different directions, and that's why I'm getting these tonal issues, as opposed to Guardians of the Galaxy, which seems to be intentionally tonally messed up.
Yeah. I see what you're saying. I think the difference probably between us is probably the reactions to the characters, because I mean, like I've already said, I love Miss Lint. I do like Arthur. I agree I agree with you in that he's certainly not a
he is a human
strong
dish rag.
But I like him, and I do care about his story. So, like, with respect to the fact that it's not really like, you know, laugh out loud crazy hilarious, and it's not like, you know, insanely melodramatic or anything like that. I think the fact that I like these two characters, that those characters are consistent throughout the series, they're the grounding element, I think, with respect to maybe some of the odd directions of the tone of this show. And that's all I am probably really responding to. If you don't really care, if the characters don't really interest you at all, then I can see how this show would feel kind of just sort of weird and dead, mostly.
Weird and dead. Good descriptions.
I get it. But God, I love she's a fucking God. Like that she's called Miss Lint, that she has this issue with the static electricity attracting lint to her all of the time. She's always that she's a fucking like deadly murderous person who is made fun of for this stupid side effect of that she has to deal with her power, and that she's still like this extremely vulnerable character who is really just looking for validation, you know, from her kind of father figure / supervillain. All of that totally works. The failed marriage, sharing the fucking lair with her divorced husband, all of that all of that comes together and creates a pretty rich and pretty compelling character that on her own is, I think, worth the show, certainly.
I guess. I mean, like, I'm glad that you like it. It's just I don't know.
I'm surprised. I was really surprised because the first episode of The Tick, I was like, you know, whatever. It's fine.
Glad that I'm glad that they went back and revisited the costume.
Yes.
That at least
Yes.
tells me that they were
Yes.
kind of paying attention to feedback.
Yeah.
Because the
That was a good choice.
episode 1 costume was terrible.
It really was. And yeah, that was definite improvement. It's Peter Smith too. I think maybe a little bit of the issue that I have, there's part of me that appreciates it and part of me that kind of, I don't know, is maybe, I don't know, not super happy with it, but he's definitely channeling Adam West here and there.
He does a little here and there.
Yeah.
But like then it gets a little weird.
Yeah.
I got it a couple of times. He's got a certain energy to him in certain scenes that does feel very 60s Batman.
Very much so. I mean, where he was really like hanging on his words as he's considering his response, you know, like thought is not something that I am great at. I leave that, you know, I mean, he just like hangs on some of his words just like Adam West would do in Batman. And I don't know. It's fine. It makes sense for the Tick, but you know, at the same time, it feels a little bit derivative. But then there's a part of me that's like, I love Adam West, so that's great.
I am the Tick. I am a superhero. I will be defending this block forthwith.
Yeah. I do enjoy some of the tortured metaphors that the Tick is generally known for. Like I can't even repeat them because they're so complicated. But there's that one where he's trying to convince Arthur to walk through the door of destiny and come over to his side, but he's standing in his own way. So let you open your door and let you go through the own. Like it's a complicated sort of metaphor that he's trying to get through, and it works. I appreciate stuff like that. It's not crazy like laugh out loud hilarious or anything, but what there is of it, I do enjoy.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I don't think there's that much. I kind of hope we see more. Like, strangely, the people who I expect will save this a little bit for me are the fringe characters. Like, I like Tinfoil.
Yeah, I liked him too. Yeah.
You know, Arthur's dad, another, like, those are characters that I feel like the Tick can reasonably interact with.
Yeah.
I hope that they can lighten it up a little, because the whole point of watching the Tick is that it's supposed to be funny. It's supposed to be laugh out loud hilarious. Just like, yes, you do have the bizarre metaphors, and then at the same time, then you just have lines that are just funny. They're just hilarious.
Yeah.
Even to this day, when I order, you know, Chinese food, I will put the entire fortune cookie in my mouth and I will chew it, and I will take the piece of paper out and I'm like, look, a secret message from my teeth. Just see what people say, because it's funny to me. That was a funny moment. Yeah. And it has stuck with me more than probably anything in this is going to stick with me.
I agree. It's weird. It's weird and off-putting to, at times, have to consider or be asked to consider the Tick as like a human being. Like those scenes where Arthur's like, you don't have a place to stay, do you? And the Tick's like, well,
I'm sure I do.
Yeah, I'm sure I do. You know, but like, it's clear that he's like potentially suffering from some form of amnesia and is homeless, which is not something that you generally want to have to think about when you consider the Tick. And it is because it makes it way less fun.
Of like that, back in the old one, when Tick needs to get a license so that he can fight crime legally.
But it's stupid. Like, it's stupid, and here it's like, holy fuck. Maybe he has like a family that has forgotten about him, or some horrible thing happened to this character that turned him into this just absurd buffoon of a superhero.
I'm here to report a missing person. Me.
Right. So I get it. I mean, it is weird to like, because the Tick is a fucking cartoon character. I mean, that's like pretty much that's literally what he is. And it's weird to have to think that, like, what if this cartoon character has a sort of tragic fucking backstory, and maybe I shouldn't be laughing at him.
I don't think that would be good.
I don't know. I don't really think so either, but I'm interested enough in this show to at least stick with it through further episodes to see if they actually do the unthinkable and attempt to sort of develop the Tick, which I don't want to see. I mean, right now, even as I'm saying it, that sounds horrible to me.
I don't trust this sort of C- writing to making that interesting.
I would not call this.
I guess anybody can roll a 20 at any time, but like, I just don't. I don't know. I don't know.
There's enough here that I'm interested enough, but I mean I think we both probably agree on the idea that, like, what would sell this series, or I think the series, at least its strengths, are going to be its ancillary characters.
Yeah. The Tick needs somebody to play off.
Yeah.
And I don't care who's in his posse, but I think he needs a posse. I think Tick and Arthur need a posse.
Yeah, I would. And it would be nice to see some. Yeah, and Overkill's a good addition for sure.
I like him.
His boat is writing its own techno music. I love it. I fucking love it. I love that that's our introduction to that he's working on some fucking EDM. Goddamn, that's ridiculous. And I love it.
Well, the boat was amusing. The boat's interaction. See, the boat and Overkill, you at least get the straight man, funny man thing.
Yeah.
With the Tick and Arthur, you should get that.
Yeah.
You should get the straight man and the funny man. And then you kind of sometimes do, but usually you don't.
Yeah.
And so you do need, in those ancillary characters, like, tinfoil hat Larry or whatever his name is.
I think it is Larry. Yeah.
I think, yeah. And his stepfather, like, then it's just silly meets silly. And like, you can always have a good time with, 2 or 3 Stooges.
Yeah.
I just hope, I don't know.
The Armenian translation scene. I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed that a lot. And they're using like fucking Google Translate to try to interrogate this guy that they have kidnapped. That I was actually laughing out loud because it was so ridiculous.
I don't know. I was not. I only really laughed a lot. I think it was probably I got a chuckle when Miss Lint, who is throwing gigawatts of electricity at the Tick, and then he says, "Be careful, Arthur. She's shooting eyeballs at us." And it's just like, what? And then I think the other one was something to do with the condo situation, but like, it wasn't funny enough for me to remember what it was that made me laugh.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's just like, I don't get this. I don't really like the Terror all that much. He seems just like an asshole. Yeah. And the Terror was in the old Tick, and I had a lot more fun with that episode. Yeah. That was the Tick versus Justice.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I am overall still curious to see where the show's gonna go. It's definitely not the version of the Tick that I would have expected. But I don't know. I think because it's a little bit hard to define, and because I do enjoy the characters.
You're supposed to criticize me for having an expectation of getting more of the same. And it's exactly what I have, and it's exactly what I want.
Well, that explains your reaction to this show, your reaction to Star Trek Discovery. It explains a lot of things. I'm over it. Like
it's not just it's not more of the same. It's Star Trek Discovery.
It is sacrilege at this point. But yeah. No, I don't care. I don't think anything you're saying is entirely is unreasonable at all. And I mean, like I've said, more. So many. I feel like I'm probably just repeating myself and pissing everybody off. But it's always the characters. And if they're not interesting, to you, then that's just how it is. I wouldn't expect anybody to watch a show full of people they don't give a fuck about. So, I mean, when I watch The Walking Dead, I want the zombies to win, right? Because all of those people on that show are fucking awful. So,
I feel like you pretty consistently, and this show also backs that up, get behind the characters that kill the most people.
It's just nice to see some decision making from time to time and less criticizing other people who make fucking decisions. Because that's what, that's what it feels to me like the United States of America has become. Basically a nation of trolls who never have to make any important decisions in their entire lives, criticizing the decisions of greater and more courageous people.
Interesting. I'm not going to say that you're not without some element of truth there, but
yeah, because we're 3 glasses of scotch into this show already. So,
oh yeah, 3?
Yeah. 3.
I have had 2 beers.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
I've got this Hofbrau Oktoberfest beer.
Are these long necks, or I'm assuming?
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, here's the thing. They're only 11.2 ounces, and it's like, well, I'm not going to just drink one. This is less than 1 beer, so I have to drink 2. Clearly.
That's fair. That's a fair assessment.
Uh-huh.
You've made a good decision there, and I don't intend to criticize you on it, Tech Angel.
You shouldn't, because it's pretty good. Hofbrau makes good beer. Germans make good beer. Germans make good things.
Oh, God. Such a racist for Germans. That's what it is. Just love these Germans so much. Because they're in your blood. But not the Hitler Germans. They're not in your blood.
Well, Hitler is an Austrian.
Different type of Germans. That's the same thing. Austrians are Germans. That just,
I will... when I'm in Vienna next week, I will walk up to an Austrian and ask them, are you the same as a German?
Well, just first ask them, who do you think you are? And then
I don't think that you're supposed to say, who do you think you are?
Who do you think you are?
And I'm not Delancey. I can't deliver that line.
I think you could do it. I mean, just tell you're not fooling anyone. Who do you think you are?
Yeah, well, I'll let you know if I do that.
I can't wait.
Do you have anything else to add? Tick related?
I don't think so. I'm surprised. That's my summation. I was surprised that I actually did end up enjoying this show. But with the caveat that, I don't know for how much longer, I guess. I think the 25-minute episode length to me is fucking perfect. So, you know, if it does exactly what it's done in these first six episodes, I'm on board.
All right. All right. I don't have a whole lot more to talk about either. I do hope that if this show continues, that they get some extra characters that can kind of start to play off of each other and make this a little bit more of a jovial experience.
That's fair.
But yeah, I don't expect it. I'm also surprised that you liked this.
I am too. Yeah, I am too.
I was ready to commiserate this entire episode.
Yeah. I surprised myself. Yeah.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that has been episode number 31 of the Wednesday Night Gentlemen Multimedia Empire official podcast. Please give us a like if you've enjoyed this video, or subscribe to our channel. You can find us on Twitter at WNG_MME_OPC. That's all of the words in this
You only need to say it once.
Podcast.
It's so simple.
With underscores.
Commit it to memory.
You can also head on over to Facebook, where we are just the Wednesday Night Gentlemen. Thank you, everyone, for listening. We'll see you again on episode number 32. Probably be a couple of weeks because I think we've got some scheduling conflicts. But who knows what madness will fill that vacuum. I have some plans.
Oh, I can't wait.
So we'll see you then. This is Tactic Game to sign off. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.